G'day, welcome to the Lion Lawn. There's green grass, no fumes, and no worries. G'day and welcome back to the Lion Lawn. In today's video, I'm going to make a start on the irrigation system to complement my lawn renovation. Now I've bought some K-Rain K1 pop-up sprinklers, a stack of 19mm Holman polypipe, and a box full of elbow joints and connectors and bits and pieces to hopefully put all this together. Ideally what I'd like to do is put these pop-up sprinklers in my lawn so that they get the best coverage, but unfortunately, as you may have seen last video, and I'll show you again today, my backyard is really lumpy and bumpy from where it wasn't laid the best originally, and I obviously haven't looked after it that well. So at some stage I'd like to level the lawn properly, but I won't get to it this season. So if I put these sprinklers in the lawn and then level over the top of it, some of them may end up too low, some of them may end up too high, and I'll have to pull it out and redo it anyway. So what I'm going to do instead of that is, I'm lucky enough that my garden beds border sort of 95% of my lawn, so I'm going to bury the polypipe and the pop-ups in the garden and have them shoot from the sidelines to try and get the best coverage that way. So I just worked out that I need 29.9 metres of polypipe to do the backyard, which is good because I bought 100 metres, so that should do me the backyard, the front yard and the side yard. So now I guess there's nothing left to do but start cutting and laying it out and seeing if we can't make it work. So what I'm going to do before I bury anything or trim anything at the ends, I'm just going to fit it all together and make sure that I've got the right amounts, and then I'll trim them back. So for every join you need to make sure you put a locking clamp on, then put your elbow piece on. Now I don't know if I can do this without heating the pipe up. Oh, that goes alright. On all the way. If you have drama, maybe just put a little bit of hot water to soften the plastic. Bring the locking clamp back over the knuckle and push it together really tight. Clamp it on. The same for the other side. Another locking clamp. We want our elbow to go like that. Right. Clamped. So what I'll do now is I'll trim that end up there to where I want, and then go down that way and trim that end and put the next elbow piece on. Done. So that's the layout done. Now I've got to work out where the sprinklers go. Now the good thing about the K-Rain K1 sprinkler is that it's adjustable in both the distance that it throws the water and the arc in which it sprays. So I've worked out that they go between 5 and 9 metre radius. So I bought 5 of them, and I think I've worked out that I can get 100% coverage of my lawn if I put them in specific places around. I've done 57,000 diagrams trying to make sure I get it right, so fingers crossed. I'll go and cut some T-pieces in and start installing them. Okay, so I'm going to put the first sprinkler right here in the corner, but I need to be conscious that I still need to leave a little bit of pipe because it's got to make a 90-degree turn yet and head from here back along the wall of the house to the tap. So I'm going to cut the T-piece in a couple of inches away from the wall. That'll give me time to room to put the sprinkler, and then leave a little bit extra for that 90-degree elbow piece. First one done. Alright, so all the sprinklers are now sort of dummy fit. They're not buried, but they're all connected. They're all set. I've got no idea how far they're going to throw though. So I'll turn the tap on and see what happens. Whoa. Alright, so far it's been a pretty good day in the yard. I've laid out the poly pipe to the right size and the right distances, connected it all up, and it looked good. So I've cut the sprinklers in, put them where they need to be, set their arc of where they're spraying, and gave it a test. I do need to tune the distance that it's throwing the water though, because I think one of them threw water straight over the neighbour's fence into his clothes hanging on the clothesline. Probably not ideal. So now I'm going to just get a trenching shovel, dig the trench in my garden bed, lay them all in where I need them to be, bury them back over, and we should be done. Alright, that's it for another day. Got the irrigation system built and dug into the ground and covered back over where I want it. Ideally I'd like those pop-up sprinklers to be down under the height of the sleepers around the garden bed, but unfortunately the deeper I go I hit some French drains that I've put in previously, so I don't want to disturb those. But I'm not too worried about it. They're going to do a job while I do the reno on the lawn. So all that's left to do now is, in a couple of days' time, I'll come back out and fine-tune the distance of the sprinklers and the arcs and make sure they're good to go. And then we'll move on to the next one. Alright, catch you next time on the Lion Lawn.